Like, this is so unbelievably twisted and unbelievably Satan. What I want to talk about today is the looting and the rioting and everything that's happening here. You know, I've been praying and thinking a lot about this. My wife told me this morning, she's like, man, I've been struggling the last few days. I've been affected by it. And I could see it. I could feel it myself. It's constant discord. It's constant pain and dysfunction around us all the time. And why? That's really the question. I mean, we've got all these people out there saying it's about racism. It's about freedom. It's about all these different things. But all those things are really just the sort of mask. They're the cover thing. It's not the actual thing. The reason that we respond to things this way is because we're in pain. What we have in our culture right now is a whole bunch of people who are in pain. People are hurting. And people who are in pain react and live in ways they normally would not. They do extreme things at times. They do inappropriate things at times. And sometimes they're moved so powerfully to overcome the obstacle before them that change happens. A lot of these things come from pain. But that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a country that's erupting in pain. We saw it with COVID-19. The left has been pushing for a long time to convince Americans that they're horrible, that white people are evil, that our country needs to be broke down and everything else. And you have a whole segment of our country who doesn't believe that. And they know the truth of their own hearts. They know who they are, and they're responding in anger. And so when we have COVID-19 come and the lockdowns start coming, what they feel like is that they're being oppressed. Was it a reasonable response, particularly in the beginning? Sure, it is reasonable. But that's why people are reacting the way they are. That's why they're demonstrating, saying their rights are getting taken away. Then you have George Floyd get killed. And we have hundreds of years of unhealed pain in our country in that area. When it comes to race relations and relationships between cops and other people, there is so much unhealed pain there. It's all just been waiting to be agitated. And this, in the end, is the problem we have in our country. We have a ton of unhealed pain in every sector. We have people living from their pain, condemning other people, hurting other people, rioting, looting, murdering innocent people. It comes from every direction. There's so much unhealed pain. And the problem is that wherever pain is like this, reason just goes right out the window. And people start living from their carnal nature. They start living from their carnal nature, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people explode. We're seeing people do things they wouldn't normally do. And so the evil one is here right now, right? He's sparking this. He's agitating it. The way the evil one works is that when there's a point of weakness, that's what he exploits. Many people can see that there's a mastermind behind all that's happening. How convenient COVID comes. How convenient our economy is dinged. How convenient George Floyd gets killed. How convenient now there's rioting and looting. How convenient nobody cares about COVID-19 anymore. How convenient, how convenient, how convenient. All this stuff has been served up on a platter. The problem is we think there's a human mastermind behind it all. There probably isn't. There probably isn't anybody who's quite that smart who can orchestrate all of this stuff. And they're seemingly too loosely connected to be organized by a person or people. But Paul tells us in Ephesians 6, our problem's not with flesh and blood, it's with the principalities and powers of darkness. Satan and the demonic are that smart. They've been watching us from our creation. They are smarter than us. They know us. They know how to play us. They know how to agitate us. They know how to get us to do what they want us to do. That's who's pulling the strings. And that's why people are seeing connections here in a storyline, like it's just well too put together. And then you start recognizing that, but you name it on people, and then you're a conspiracy theorist, and you're invalidated, and yada, yada, yada. Like, this is so unbelievably twisted and unbelievably Satan. And what will end up happening is our country will end up falling apart, just like so many empires have in the past. Is it right or is it wrong? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. What really matters is, where is the Lord in the midst of all of this? Are we going to continue living from our pain and causing destruction? Whether you're the rioter or the protester out doing things that are probably not good, or whether you're a Facebook warrior who's just sitting there pumping out more crap that facilitates discord and disharmony. Or you might just be a person sitting there stewing in anger because your country's getting ripped apart. Or you might be a person stewing in anger because you're seeing somebody get murdered by somebody who's supposed to serve and protect. Either way, what are you doing with your pain? The only way we walk through this, the only way grace gets released, is when we bring our pain to the Lord. It's when we bring our pain to Him and we open it up and we get real about it. And Christians, this is essential for you and for me and for us. They're supposed to know we're His disciples by the way we love, by the way we love one another, by the way we love them and serve them. When they come to take our coat, we're supposed to give them our shoes. When they persecute us, beat us, harm us, we're supposed to bless them. We're supposed to meet anger, rage, hatred with patience and kindness. That's who Jesus was. If they won't let us to go to church, we're supposed to submit unto the authorities as unto God. Be a follower of Jesus before you're an American. Yes, you have those rights via the Constitution. We have these rights. But our obedience is to Christ, not to the Bill of Rights. Paul could have escaped from prison. He chose to stay. You know why? Because the guards would have got killed if he escaped. Paul could have resisted. He could have fought. Any of the Christians could have done that throughout history, and they didn't. You know why? They wanted to follow the way of Christ, which is dealing with your pain, letting the Father come and heal, letting the Father come rescue you, letting the Father come through. And for some of us, you know what that means? That means we're going to get persecuted. That means we're going to get killed. That means we're going to get beat. We're going to get looted. That means our rights are going to get trampled. That means we're going to get oppressed, just like Jesus was. But you know what Jesus did? He walked in faith, trusting in the Father, trusting that this is the Father's will right now for me. This is how He's going to make His grace known in this weakness I'm experiencing right now. When everything in me screams, F you. When everything in me screams, I'm going to rebel, revolt, create a civil war and do whatever. But I stay the course in patience, kindness, peace, and love. That's who we need to be right now. That's what heals. That's what releases grace. All you have to do is look at the news, look at Facebook, look at all the live feeds. Rebelling, fighting for your rights, all of that kind of stuff just breeds more tension and anger. Jesus laid down His rights when He surrendered His life to God. Only listen to the Spirit. Only listen to the Spirit. Open your heart. We need to do this, and this can be the great movement of God right now. You know, I'm sitting here at the lake, and it's windy out here. It's choppy, and there's different debris and stuff blowing around. And I was sitting there praying, and it was interesting. Right now, the winds are blowing in our culture. The winds are blowing in our country. And I used to not rake my yard, which wasn't a very good thing, because I knew in the dead of winter, the wind would come and blow all the leaves away. It'd clean everything up. Well, right now, that's what God's doing. He's cleaning everything up. He's blowing all the rabble away. All the stuff that needs to be destroyed is being destroyed. It's being taken out. There's a cycle here. Life, death, resurrection. Things are dying. New things will come. Trust in the Lord. Pray to Him. Open your heart and be a son or a daughter. Be a son or a daughter. Don't be a child of hell. Don't listen to your fallen human nature, your flesh, that says, take care of yourself, fight for your rights. Listen to the Lord. Let him touch you. Please pray for me. Know that I'm praying for you. And let's keep walking this life out in Christ in the culture.